When a person has given control over their life to God and allowed the Holy Spirit to enter into their heart, they should be able to show some self-restraint in life. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Thursday. You know, the King James Version calls this virtue temperance, where one has learned to control their emotions or their actions, and certainly their fleshly desires and lusts. He says in Galatians 5:22 and 23, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control or temperance, and against such there is no law." How do we begin to exercise self-control over a sinful nature and a spirit that longs for the things of this world? I know that dieters struggle with it all the time. Alcoholics surely fight that urge. Maybe we all have this problem somewhat. It should be simple to overcome. After all, we are struggling against self. One picture of self-restraint often covers our emotions or even our temper. Some people lose their temper so easily when dealing with others, or maybe even stubborn things like a bolt that won't come loose or a jar lid that can't open. There are those who don't seem to try to control their tempers at all. They say such things as, "Well, I've always had a bad temper. You're just going to have to deal with it." We really need some kind of a regulator or governor that controls our emotions. Oh, I know. We need to yield to the Holy Spirit that indwells our hearts and wants to help us in controlling that old person that we used to be. Don't allow our temper to overcome us and destroy our testimony for the Lord. You know, the second place we need to show self-control is over our desires and our wants in this world. The perennial dieter will tell you how difficult this practice is to master. But I'm not just talking about the desire for food. I'm talking about the lusts of the flesh, which draw us into sin. Paul said, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in the lust thereof." Paul also told young Timothy to flee youthful lusts. If you cannot overcome, then steer clear of any temptation that would allure you in that direction. And finally, self-control must be exercised in our tongue, in what we say or even how we say it. James says, "The tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity, and if one thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, he deceives his own heart." His religion is really useless. So we need to work hard at self-control, whether it be lust, our temper, or controlling our tongue in speaking to others. You see, temperance, he says, is a virtue. And when the Holy Spirit of God cultivates its fruit in us, self-control will be the vine that blooms and shows up in our lives.